Peace, peace, family. Welcome back to the Campaign TV Show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we are back again with another fire episode, on this Wednesday night, family. So make sure you tapping in. Make sure that you like, share, and engage. We want to share this out to as many people as possible. I'm not going to be before you long today, but I am going to be strong today. So we're going to be talking about our brother Ice Cube and his recent appearance on the Cocktails with Queens on Fox Soul, which features Claudia Jordan as the host, Vivica A. Fox, Lisa Ray, and there's another sister on there. I can't think of her name. I think it's Sylvina Johnson, I believe. That is a very, very good sister as well. So we're going to be talking about that tonight, family. So we're going to be doing some commentary. I'm actually going to show y'all the interview, and you can check it out yourself, and we're going to be having some commentary talking about that. So again, I want you to like, share. I want you to get this out to as many people as possible. If you look at the bottom, you see all of the information that's scrolling for tonight's show. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So like I mentioned earlier, well, first let's give a backdrop, because our brother Ice Cube has been in the news lately, trending a lot because of his contract with Black America and his ability to sit down with both of the political parties to try to work out a deal or a situation for Black America. So he's been catching a lot of backlash for that. So again, what we have to understand is our brother is using a different way of thinking. He's actually going about this in a way that nobody has seen before. So when you see him going at this at a new angle with a different mindset, a different shift, then it's upsetting a lot of people, because you got to think about it. You have the Negro who's actually going to ask the slave master for something for his value. I'm going to say that again. You have the Negro who's actually going to ask the slave master for something of value in return for his labor, for his vote in this case. And you got a lot of Black people who are upset with Ice Cube because he did that. So he's been trending all over social media. Now, obviously, you have a lot of the media who's taking it and using it, Ice Cube I'm talking about, as a prop for the campaigns. So you see people photoshopping photos, because that photo that has been circulating around with Ice Cube and 50, that's not the original photo. They never wore Trump hats. Neither one of them ever wore Trump hats. 50 had on an NYC hat, and Cube had on his Big 3 hat, and they was photoshopped for Trump. So you see how they use our people and they manipulate them to us, because they already knew that wasn't the case for 50 or Cube. But they knew as soon as you saw it, then you would be assuming that those brothers was rolling with Trump. And because we got some type of I don't know, sickness or something, anytime you see anybody with something that looked like Trump on it, Black people looking to cancel you. So that's what they did. That was a play, and they knew that we would take the bait. They knew if they put out Cube and 50 and Kanye as if they was supporting Trump 100%, then they knew you would take the bait and cause there to be infighting amongst us as a community. And if you don't know, that has been the pattern of the enemy for decades, for hundreds of years. That was Willie Lynch. Choose and pick out the differences among the Negroes and get them to fight one another. And that's what they're doing now. They know you don't like Trump. They know Trump is a trigger for you, for Black America. So because they know Trump is a trigger for you, anybody who's looking to sit down and do business bipartisan, if you sitting with Trump, you automatically the enemy. And that's what the media has done. That's what the slave master has done. That's what our open enemy has done, to cause confusion among us, because they know our unity is our most powerful weapon. I'm going to say that again. They know that our unity is our most powerful weapon. There's a reason why they don't mess with the Asian community. They don't mess with the Asian community. Asians come in here, they set up businesses in our community, they make a way for themselves, they unite. The Mexicans, the Arabs, all of them, they come in, same blueprint. They don't mess with them because they know they have unity. They unified. So, you know, if a police officer go out here and murder an Asian, they're going to have to deal with the whole Asian community. If you murder a Jew, you're going to have to deal with the whole Jew community. There's not going to be nobody saying, well, look, you know, he was resistant. You know, it's not going to be nobody saying, well, we don't agree with his plan, because that's not how all of us think. It's only in the Black community do we have all this different opinion of and all this different thought processing going on, where when we come out in the public, we can't even be united. I'm not saying that everybody is going to agree 100%. I'm not saying that all of us are going to be thinking alike. But what I am saying is when we go into the public eye, we need to be a united front. Even if you disagree, majority rules, family. Even if you disagree, majority rules. So if majority rules, I'm sorry, you have to sit back. You've been outvoted. That's just that. Black people don't move like that. We get outvoted. We splinter off into our own segment because it wasn't our idea. We not the leader. We not the think tank. We not the one leading the cry. So because we not the one in front, our ego now has caused us to want to divide ourselves, separate ourselves from the whole. So we start a splinter group. We start another group. And even when we do that, instead of just doing what we was going to do anyway, we got to talk bad about the group we left. We do that a lot in church. Shout out to the Christian family that's listening tonight. We do that a lot in church. We go to church. We'll fall out at whatever church we go to. And then when we get to the new church, we talking about everybody at the old church. We talking about how we ain't like the pastor. We talking about the deacons, and we start airing out everybody laundry over there. And now you trying to get the members from that church to come to your new church. So you a disgruntled church goer claiming to be with Jesus Christ. See? Hypocrisy. You understand? Divide and conquer. We let the enemy come and do it all the time. So that's my piece for tonight at the beginning. And we're going to go ahead and get into this Queens cocktail with the Queens with our brother Ice Cube. And man, please give me your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And I'm going to be doing some commentary as we watch this. So let me go ahead and pull it up. Get my screen share real quick, family. And again, please like, share, get this out to as many people. We want engagement. Engagement is what allows us to be able to reach more people. So please engage, comment, like, share. That's what we're doing. So here we go. Let me know in the comment section real quick if you can see my screen. Okay, I can see my screen, so that's a good look. Bet. I can see my screen, so that's all we need. All right, family. So it's our sister Claudia Jordan, and this is Fox Soul. Now, remember, we got an issue with Fox Soul because they was talking all that stuff about how they was going to be playing the minister lecture July 4th, the Criterion, and all of this, that, and the third, and then they got pressured to go ahead and back out of that, you know. So again, that highlights the power of ownership. They have put black faces in place to make you think that we have achieved some type of freedom, when in reality, that's not the case. But I digress. So Claudia, Sister Claudia, you got the floor. Oh, hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold on, family. Just bear with your brother for a second. Bear with you.
Now joining us now is a legendary rapper and film producer who is making headlines not only for his music, but his involvement with policy and politics. Please, everybody, welcome Ice Cube. Hello, sir.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, you.
Yo, what's up?
What's
up, Lisa Ray? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you.
Good. How's everybody doing?
Blessed.
Good.
And we're also very appreciative of you taking the time to come talk to us here. I know everyone's trying to get a piece of you and talk to you and have you on their platform. So We definitely appreciate that. So thank you. I want to ask you just out the gate how you're doing. You know, how have you been coping with the pandemic, the civil unrest? These are, I mean, Black people have always been through trying times, but it's a little extra right now on top of our regular stress. Getting different. We got another layer on top. You know, we got 10 on 20 right now. So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, the pandemic, it hit everybody and caught everybody off guard. Thank God for D Nice, who started spinning them records, man, and kept people just, you know, kind of, you kept our sanity, you know what I'm saying? And then the thing with George Floyd happened, which shook everybody to our core. You know, when you hear man, you know, scream for his mama, I think everybody in the world felt that. So, you know, everything switched reels for me, and I just been on this quest trying to get us true equality. You know, not just equality on, you know, social issues, but economic equality, which is, you know, just as important.
Well, let's just jump right in then, Q, because I have been, you know, looking at some of the bites from your interview. You did an interview with Roland Martin, which helped me, I'm going to say, because I will say that when I first heard that you were supporting Trump, I was like, wait a minute, what? Hold on, because you my boy. So I was like, I got a personal insight. I'm going to call him correctly.
I didn't say I was supporting Trump. So
allegedly, right. That's what I heard. That's what the bite, the sound bite. You know, that's why people got to do their research. And I watched that interview, and I heard you break it down to why you were involved, why you met with both sides, and when you got involved, which was not just recently. And so when I said, you know, what contract was he talking about? This contract of Black America, like, what is that? Where did it come from? I did not know. So when I think of things that I don't know, I automatically assume that a whole lot of people out there don't know. So I would want you to educate me as well. So what did make you go to the administration and speak with them?
Well, what happened was, you know, there was a lot of yelling, a lot of people upset, a lot of reforms being put on the table during George Floyd. But I was looking around for a document that really was speaking on what's the needs in the community and what do we need across the board, not just from government, but from the private sector too. Because there's a lot of companies that are involved in our pain, and they got to pay up too. You know, they owe us reparations as well in some shape or form. So it was nothing. I was looking around. I'm like, damn, where is the document? Where is the ask? What are we asking for as a people across the board that deals with not only police brutality, but all our needs? So I started working on it myself with, you know, some smart people I know. We end up getting, you know, economists involved, people like Derek Hamilton. You know, we started to go and just find the smartest minds to help try to put a document together so we can actually have something to say, damn, all this is things we need. This is so anybody Black could look at our document and say, yeah, support this, support, you know, some of the things that we have. Now, I'm not a politician, and I shouldn't be the one to have to put this thing together. We've had politicians in place for a long time, and they haven't come up with something like this. So I was surprised, but that didn't stop me. And we put that together July 1st, and we revamped it about, let me get the timeline here. We revamped it July 19th. And from then, people wanted to interview me about it. So I went on just promoting the contract with Black America, you know, hoping to be contacted by any of the politicians saying, yo, this is a great idea. Everybody that I would show would say, oh, these are great ideas. This is common sense. This is things that should be in place already, but they're not. So I was just kind of saying, okay, we're going to starting an initiative, and I'll make a long story short. I was just going up, basically saying, okay, we're gonna go after the private sector. We're gonna go after the banks. We're gonna go after Hollywood. We're gonna go after the people that we know got their hands in the cookie jar. You know what I mean? So then we started to get contacted from the Democrats on September 8th. And then we started talking to them. Mm-hmm. Then we got contacted by the Republicans. So that's when the ball started rolling.
Okay, family. So I want to say something right now. Because, first of all, Vivica already looked like she got a problem with the contract of Black America. I don't know if she just didn't wake up on the right side of the bed yesterday morning, but Vivica already looked like she was coming there with attitude, okay? And I want us to pay attention to, as we go through this, the pressure they apply specifically to Ice Cube about things dealing with Black women. And I want to say this too, family, because there's this movement in America that's been here for a while that has come out of the Eurocentric mind, which is this feminist movement. But in the most recent years, you've seen a lot of Black women join this movement and been a part of this movement. Well, a little history on the feminist movement. It is white women who wanted to get away from their white patriarchal husbands who egotistically rule without the proper representation of women. That's where the feminist movement comes from. It had nothing to do with us as Black people, because in our kingdoms and in our rulership, we did not exclude our women. Now you can go back, all you excellent researchers out there, all you African history buffs, Egyptian history buffs, go back and check it out. In our ancient civilization, we did not ever oppress or suppress or exclude our women from rulership. We have great women rulers in our history. You understand? So that was never a case. So there was never a need for our women to be a part of any type of feminist movement, because we never ruled that way. So there was no voices being suppressed as far as Black women. There was no Black women not being able to hold positions of authority. We had women that were queens and rulers and that actually governed over civilizations. You understand? Warriors that led battles victoriously. See, this is in our history. So the feminist movement is born out of the white woman trying to get away from the white man. But they have used that to project onto our women that Black men practice the same egotistical power flex moves that white men do. And they projected that on you. And now you've joined this movement, and what comes from it is what these things that say that we need to have specifics for Black women, when everything that Black men do includes the Black woman, the traditional Black family. There's no separation of that. The only time there was a separation of that is when you're dealing with white people. And see, they have now gotten you thinking that all men think alike, that Black men think like white men, when that's not the case. So I wanted to just pay attention to the pressure that they apply. Again, Vivica looked like she already got an attitude. And y'all just keep on tapping in, man. Let me know how y'all feel in the comment section too.
Then, so it's not just like I just jumped into anything. I mean, I just did the contract, and then people started to contact me, not the other way around. I was hoping the Democrats would be all over me. But you know, that wasn't the case. And I understand it wasn't like I was throwing a fit. I just was like, okay, we're going at the private sector. And then the Republicans contacted me. And to me, if you're speaking for Black people, you should speak to whoever is in power or about to be in power.
And I think you had a statistic, and you said something about there has been 7,000 Black people elected, and you felt like in offices for us, and you felt like They ain't made a change. We've not come far at all with 7,000 of us in there. What are we going to do? Who is going to take this and say, okay, I'll be in the front line of this, and then get in the front line and have everybody come on board with you? Because let's be honest, you are Ice Cube and you do have a huge platform. So I would say that for me to know that you've been using your platform to be able to have an initiative like that, I think it's worth you doing the interviews that you're doing and letting everybody know and hear your voice on.
I just want to jump in and say, I just don't think it's that fair to the 7,000 of Black elected officials that have been in office.
Right, to say that they've done nothing.
Yeah, because I think that is, I think that's a slippery slope to walk down, because as we saw with
a lot of progress has been made.
It's not as simple as you get elected and bam, you can make all the changes one man.
Right.
I never said that 7,000 people.
Okay, hold on, Cube. I got you, Cube. I got you. Because like I said, Vivica already got an attitude, family. For those of us that are just coming in, man, please like, share, and engage. If you are tapping in from YouTube, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button as well, man. Make sure you stay subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you can stay notified each and every time we go live and drop a video. Welcome to the Campaign TV Show. And tonight we're discussing Ice Cube on the Cocktails with the Queens, which is a Fox Soul show. And it features Claudia Jordan, Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox. I think it's Sylvina Johnson is the other sister. And we discussing, the interview that Ice Cube had on it. Now, Ice Cube mentioned the fact that there's been 7,000 elected politicians, Black ones, and none of them have come up with a plan such as contract with Black America or anything relevant in the way of asking something specifically for Black people. And as we get further into this, he mentions that they like to use language like minority, people of color, things like that don't speak directly to the condition or the plight of the Black man and Black woman in America. And as you can see, Sister Claudia and Sister Vivica did not think that it was fair for our brother to say that. And Vivica made the statement that there was a lot of progress made. And that's what they like to say. It's been a lot of progress made. There's been a lot of quote unquote policies written. It's been a lot of stuff said. It's been a lot of money given to things and initiatives that have not directly affected the Black man and Black woman in America, because the condition is still the same. I'm going to say it again. There's been a lot of money and initiatives put forward on behalf of all of these government politicians, but there has never been anything that spoke to direct progress, direct healing, direct correction, reparations to the trauma that has been happening in the Black community. Never. Think about it. We came out of slavery in 1865, supposedly. We were so-called free then. But now we free in the South, and then the government pull a trick on us. It's going to be another podcast where they pull the federal troops out the South that was supposed to be protecting us from lynch mobs and the Ku Klux Klan members that was going around lynching us. The federal troops get pulled out of the South. You understand? Now we have to go through years of lynchings. Same thing we was going through in slavery, but now we so-called free, still being murdered at the hand of our oppressor. Still don't receive any type of reparations. Then we move into Jim Crow. Then we move into the civil rights struggle. See, all of this, we've never had time to heal from the emotional and mental trauma of slavery and post-slavery. They never gave us anything for us to be able to pull ourselves up from the economic and the social and the mental condition that we've been put in, family. Never. So for Vivica to say that progress has been made, how, Sway? How has progress been made? Because you can buy a house now under these predatory lending or what they call redlining. See? You can buy a house, which is the quote unquote American dream. So you free. You can buy you some Jordans now. You couple of token Negroes make it out of the hood in Hollywood or in sports, and we free and progress has been made. No, progress hasn't been made. They just adjusted the way they kept you oppressed. They just adjusted the way they kept you oppressed. So they institute what is called the 13th Amendment. So they say slavery is abolished except you commit a crime. And then they put policies in place that specifically target the black community, such as loitering. That was that was the whole purpose of loitering. They make loitering a crime. They make these other things a crime punishable for you to be put in jail just so you could become a slave again. So when they release us out of physical slavery, they don't have no job for you. You can't make a job for yourself. So you just hanging around on the street, and then they make that a crime, and then they lock you up. Boom, right back in slavery. You understand? So I have a hard time seeing where progress has been made, Sister Vivica. You would have to explain. You would have to lay that out on the progress. You understand? Because not much progress has been made. House Negroes get a paycheck, whether you playing sports, football, basketball, golf, tennis, whatever the case may be. And they think that's freedom. You can buy a Benz now and they think that's freedom. Well, whatever happened to our 40 acres and a mule? We never got that. And that's because the power structure understands that true freedom lies in ownership. So Jay-Z said, people are always asking me the key. Until you own your own, you can't be free. Until you own your own, you can't be me. I'm going to say it again. See? The hip hop Bible. Until you own your own, you can't be free. Until you own your own, you can't be me. Jay-Z's telling you the key to freedom is in ownership. So if you don't own nothing, then you ain't free. Point blank, period. Let's get back to this.
Black people have never did anything. I said that since the 60s, there's been over 7,000 Black politicians elected in prominent positions. And our situation, you know, as far as the wealth gap hasn't changed. We flatlined from the 60s to now. We have not gained or closed the wealth gap. So that's the major problem. I understand we got a lot of people, you know, working hard for progress, that the facts are it hasn't happened in the traditional way. So that's why I want to break the mold.
So I just want to say, first of all, you know, there's this whole cancel culture that we have. First of all, anybody canceling no damn Ice Cube. Let me just say that first out the gate. This is NWA.
Thank you.
He was the first to say fuck the police. So go sit down. Nobody's canceling Ice Cube, and if you are canceling, that's fucking stupid. Second of all, I do think that it is very good that you are taking an initiative to, and I like how you say bipartisan, because that means both parties. This is for both parties. We want both parties to jump onto this. This is not just, oh, this person, that person. We want everybody to grab a hold on to what African-American people need singularly. And I remember we talked about this on Cocktails. Remember, Lisa Ray, when you asked the question before, you were like, well, who's going to do something? Who's going to lead singularly for African-Americans? Now, I do know that there have been tons of initiatives. CDC has initiatives all the time, Congressional Black Caucus, the Nation of Islam, hey, right here, National Agenda. They've had an entire agenda that happened right after the Million Man March. It was presented to, what's the name? The president that was in, what's the name? Clinton. It was presented to the Clinton administration. So we have tried. There has been trying going on. But one thing I do like about your initiative is that it is singular to Black people. That gap, that wealth gap is a fool, and it does need to be fixed immediately. But here's my question. I watched you on the Black Report the other day, on Friday, and they asked you, hey, Q, what do you think about, you know, when you see the Black Man March, and how does that make you feel? And you said something that was really profound and stood out to me. You said, you know what? I wish that Black people and Black men could watch this over again and get back to this. because you said even myself, we need to get back to this type of unity, this type of connecting. And so my thing is, let's say whoever get in office, it ain't gonna matter. The initiative is set, and then it's like nothing's happening, or something is happening, or whatever, it's there. Now, let's say they give us all the $500 billion that we asked for. Do you honestly think, and I'm not even trying to be funny or trying to catch nobody up or nothing, I'm just asking like a real question. With the state of how our community is already broken, how we already have PTSD, how we already are not connecting already interculturally, the infrastructure of African Americans in general is just jammed up with or without money. Do you think, and what could be the process of once we get this money, of implementing it properly into our communities and really being able to allocate it where it makes sense and matters, and what's going to be necessary for that to happen?
I like Sister Selena Johnson, and that's because, one, obviously, she is a sympathizer of the Nation of Islam. I'm not gonna say supporter, but I definitely know sympathizer of the Nation of Islam, and has stood tall on that truth ever since I seen her on this show. So big shout outs to her. Now, just to address a point that she made was about the Million Man March, and we are at just coming out of the 25-year anniversary of the Million Man March. And that's very important because you got a lot of people, a lot of negative Nancy's who like to say things like, what did the Million Man March do? What did it prove? What was the purpose? Well, the purpose was to show that no matter what school of thought you came from, what title you gave yourself, you understand? What religious house you attended on Sundays and Wednesdays, that we as Black people could come together and we can unite on common ground, which at that time was the protection of Black youth. Because the minister said that he got the idea for the march when he saw the government making the move on the Black youth. Did you hear what I said? The minister got the idea of the Million Man March when he saw the government making the move on Black youth in America, Black men in particular. Well, when he said that it was going to be a Million Man March and started having men's and going to men's only meetings, the first thing they said was, how come you don't have any women that's a part of this thing, Brother Minister Farrakhan? Well, the minister's so wise. Did you know that there would not be a Million Man March if there was not for the Black woman? There were so many Black women who were intricately a part of the structure of the Million Man March. Not to mention, he had powerful Black women who are leaders in our community that was actually at the march. You had Sister Betty Shabazz was at the march. Malcolm's daughter was at the march. You had our beloved Sister Rosa Parks was at the march. You had Sister Maya Angelou at the march. You had Mother Tanetta at the march. You understand? So when they try to use Black women as a tool to keep us enslaved, they always pit the Black woman against the Black man. I'm going to say that again. When they want to use Black women as a tool to keep us enslaved, they always pit the Black woman against the Black man. And we always have to be on the lookout for that, sisters. We have to be on the lookout for that. Because that's their ultimate goal, is to keep the Black family separated. Because if we're separated, then we cannot use our unity to become powerful, to pool our resources, as somebody said in the comment section, so that we can start to do for self. See, because if we already don't think together and come together and unify in the mind, then we're not going to be able to unify physically. If we don't unify in the mind, we're not going to be able to unify physically. So if they playing these games and having Black women believe and feed into the narrative that Black men don't care about you. Black men don't want to see you successful. Black men are intimidated by black women's success. So you can't allow them to be successful, causing all this rift and all this friction in the house. Then they know that we are never going to be able to unite. They already know that, family. So we have to keep that in mind. We have to keep that in mind as we move through this world, because we at war. So every move is a move to try to get an advantage. Every move is a move against us as a people to keep us in an inferior condition. So we have to think about that. So, but again, shout out to our sister Selena, because she always looking out for the nation, fam. But this is a good question Q about to answer. Check it out.
Well, you know, what I said on the show about the Million Man March was the fact that it was the Million Man March, but it was a day of atonement. It was a day where we were...
A day of atonement, family. Key. Very key. Very key. Go ahead, Q.
We're gonna bury the hatchet with each other. It was the day when we were supposed to go back to our neighborhood kind of as new people and try to, you know, make things better.
That's right. That's right. The minister deputized us that day. He deputized the men that day. Said, go back to your community and do what? Join a church, join a mosque, join a synagogue, join an organization, go anywhere into a spiritual house where spiritual teaching is being taught. Why? Because you cannot give people that are broken spiritually and mentally and emotionally money as a fix or as a band-aid and think they're not going to destroy themselves amongst the money. So we always have to be keeping our hand on that spiritual button, dialed in spiritually, family. Yeah, we can talk economics. We can talk about putting our money together. We can talk about Black Wall Street, but you got to have love for your brother. You have to have love for your neighbor, love for yourself in order for you to do right by the money. Go ahead, Q.
And, you know, it just didn't happen the way, you know, we all envisioned it. But that don't mean we can't start. You know, we do need financial help in our communities, but we also gotta make a commitment to ourselves to clean up ourselves. You know, it do start with the person in the mirror. You know, you can't deal with the white man out here until you deal with the white man in there.
Come on.
You see what I mean? So you have to clean up. We have to clean up ourselves. We've been poisoned by this society. We've been poisoned by trying to live like the people who've had us oppressed, and what they are attracted to, we're attracted to. We got to come out of that.
Come on.
We got to be our own people with our own flavor, our own style, our own morals.
That's right. Go ahead.
We got to flip it. You know, I'm not Mr. Holy. I'm guilty of it too. So it's something we all have to start doing to clean ourselves up. But I think the key is to try to get the money in the hands of people who are doing things, who are trying to be on the right.
See, people always try to separate the two. People try to leave out the self-improvement part and want to just get to the money. Well, we got a lot of Black people out here. We got a lot of Negroes out here that got money right now that's not doing right by the money. They walking around here 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure. But how much of that income are you putting back into the community? I ain't talking about just building no rec centers and no basketball courts and all that. I'm talking about really making an impact. How many $1 million loans you giving to small businesses in the Black community? How many entrepreneurs you taking under your wing for mentorship programs? You feel me? How many people are we sitting down talking? How many brothers are sitting down, successfully married brothers sitting down with young brothers talking about the importance of marrying the sisters? Huh? Being a man, keeping your word. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm talking about things that need to be done in the community so when we get the money, we not robbing one another. We not running off on the plug. We not doing shady business. See, all that stuff is character development. That's about being mature, growing up as a man. My word is bond. And I give my life if my word shall fail. See? So let me give it to you straight. Haven't you learned that your word is bond and bond is life? and I give my life before my word shall fail, that's on everything. That means if I borrow money from you, I don't come to you with no excuses about why I can't pay it back. That means I'm not looking at your wife in a way that's going to try to tear up your household. Those are the different things that we need to do with ourselves internally. Like Cube said, you got to clean yourself up. We can't deal with the enemy on the outside until we deal with the inner me. We can't deal with the enemy on the outside until we deal with the inner me. See? Because see, some of us are black white men. I'm gonna say that again. Some of us are black white men. See, we got black skin. We got black skin. But our mindset is that pale horse. Is that pale horse of the apocalypse. And death was his rider. So we go and we terrorize our community. We kill innocent women and children in shootouts over territories we don't even know. We are envious and jealous of our brothers because one of us might come through in a Benz or a Beamer or a Porsche and may seem to be doing a little bit better than you, but instead of trying to learn from that brother, you want to take from that brother. You want to take his life because you don't think his life is valuable, because you envious and jealous over material things. This is character development. So no matter who's in the White House, you still got to work on that character. You still got to do self-improvement, self-analysis, self-correction. All that has to be done no matter if there's the Trump administration, the Biden administration. We can't stop the killing in the community. The president ain't going to do that. We got to do that. So what's on us, family? Come on, let's get back to it, Q.
Side, the progressive people, the people who are, business owners, people who want to own homes, people who want to beautify their homes so it isn't, just gentrified, so it's things where we can get money into responsible people's hands, and hopefully they'll hire the community to teach the community. They'll use the community to hopefully clean the community up. I also think the government has a job too. Why you use the armies just to come in and put guns on us and make sure we're not protesting? Why you don't use the armies to come fix fences and roofs and paint walls and do things to beautify the neighborhood? It's like they got to rethink how government works for the people, and they're not going to do it using the same old ways. You're going to have to push them. You're going to have to find pressure points, and you're going to have to use leverage when it's time. Everybody
make a quick statement though, Q.
Go ahead.
If the administration that is in there right now hasn't done it for the past 3.5 years, what do you think is going to make them start in the next 4 years that they are giving more during a pandemic? I know you got to take a break. Hold that thought, but I just got to ask that and make that statement, because you can't make them owe them all of that, and they've been there for 3.5 years. So
I ain't trying to make them do nothing. So
we need them to do something if we're going to trust them to do it.
Hold on, guys. We got to take a quick break. Okay. I definitely want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about QB. You had some very, very good points about the military, but this current administration is using the military to enforce their own agenda. And we want to talk about that. So let's take a quick break. A lot of gems are being dropped here. We'll be back with more Cocktails with the Queens when we return after this break. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. We have Ice Cube here, and we are talking about his.
While Cocktails with the Queens went on a quick commercial break, family, I want us to also check this out, because we always support Black business here on the Campaign TV Show podcast. For those of us who are just coming over and hearing us on YouTube, on Facebook, man, we discussing Our brother Ice Cube interviewed on Fox Soul Cocktails with the Queens, hosted by Claudia Jordan, talking about the contract of Black America. But what you see on the screen now is what is called the Rise magazine. Oh, hold on, y'all don't see it. Hold on. It shared the screen on there. Hold up. Stop. All right, hold on. Let me get it up there, family. Because I want to show y'all. We gotta support and promote Black business too. See? We gotta show and promote Black business. Okay, boom. So there you go right there. So what you see is the website for our Black-owned magazine, which is called Rise Magazine. And it's coming straight out of the South, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, headed and led by our student regional minister, Abdul Sharif Muhammad. So this is called the Rise Magazine, okay? So you can order your own copy. This is the September issue is out. And let me scroll down, show you what the beautiful magazine look like. See, we unapologetic about promoting our Black leadership, our Black scholarship. So the Rise magazine, the peak of greatness, has the beautiful Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on the front, who delivered a beautiful lecture full of guidance that we all should still be studying today. The July 4th criterion message that you can pull up on YouTube. Actually, you got to go to NOI.org. Excuse me. They actually deleted the Nation of Islam YouTube. So you got to go to NOI.org to be able to pull this lecture up. Okay, family? But you can follow Rise Magazine. What this magazine is a Black-owned magazine that supports Black business, Black-owned business. And we also support all of our scholars. We support all of our everything Black excellence. We have all of that on the Rise magazine. I'm actually looking for something because I want to read y'all real quick. But if you just coming in, family, I want you to like, share, and I want you to get this out to as many people as possible. Okay? Get this out to as many people as possible. All right? So again, this is Black-owned magazine right here. You can order your own from risemagazineco.com. risemagazineco.com. And what I want to do quickly is I want to show you all some of the articles here. As you can see, this is our sister Divine by Nature 1, beautiful Black sister who specializes in disaster preparedness. You understand? This is the new issue. Dr. Halim right there, Southwest Regional Minister. You know? Let me show y'all, because I see a lot of the Nation of Islam. I know what y'all saying. You saying, Brother King Karen, I got a lot of nation stuff in there. Absolutely. Because the nation is part of the fabric of Black America. Okay? But we got the Black-owned farms. We got Brother RZA right here. You understand me? We got Minister Sharif right there promoting the Rise magazine. 10,000 Phyllis. That's at the 10,000 Phyllis house. So a lot of us talk about how we clean up our community, make it safe and decent place to live. Join the 10,000 Phyllis in your city. Join the 10,000 Phyllis in your city. Community Patrol. Our brother Chadwick Boseman, we got an article dedicated to him. As always, you know we're going to have the most honorable Elijah Muhammad giving us that how to eat to live, Black-owned farms family. Okay? Talking about cleaning and sanitizing your homes during this COVID-19 pandemic, pestilence from heaven. Got to stay clean and sanitized. A lot of us been affected by COVID-19. Beautiful piece in here about that. You understand? See, as you can see, the sisters is in here. The new issue about to come out. The October issue getting ready to come out. All right? So you don't want to miss this. Talk about meditation. I'm trying to show y'all a little something. Get this magazine. Support Black media. Support Black media, Black podcasts, any platforms you want to support it, family. That's teaching truth. That's giving you information. That's giving you knowledge. Okay? You want to do that. So I'm just showing you, man, this is what the inside of the magazine look like, man. There's so much Black excellence in here. It's really unmatched. You know, in this time where we are consumers and we have become gluttons of fast food and everything that makes America the #1 obese nation or society on the planet is because of the food we eat. So we, in the Rise magazine, You understand? Under the tutelage of Student Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad, we give people excerpts from How to Eat to Live from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, teaching you the right food to eat so you don't end up in the hospital with hypertension, high blood pressure, kidney failure, cancer, all that stuff. Egg coffee. You don't know nothing about the egg coffee. And of course, you know we got stuff in here about the bean pie family. So again, you want to make sure that you tap in. You can order this magazine, the September issue, from risemagazinecode.com. Again, risemagazinecode.com. Put your order in, get it shipped right to your house. But you got to support Black-owned businesses and Black media. Very important. Got our own app. You can get on the not the app, but you can get on the email list, and you can follow Rise Magazine on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So make sure you tap in. Make sure you tap in. All right. That's our little commercial. That's our Black-owned commercial, family. So hey, that's how we doing it here. How we doing it here on the Campaign TV podcast. So let's get back to Q and the Queens. All right.
Contract with Black America, and some very legit questions here. Vivica, before we went to break, you asked about if the current administration has not done it in 3.5 years, why now is this massive push with 2 weeks before the election? I understand Ice Cube, you've been working with this since June, July, but we're hearing about it now. So it looks really, I think a lot of Black folks, it looks very, like, I feel like I don't, and I know this isn't your intention, but I feel like, you know how they use us all the damn time. You know what I mean?
I mean, both sides use celebrities, but check this out. The thing is this, I'm not here saying he's gonna do anything, but he didn't make a promise to me. He made a campaign promise to the world. So he's on record for that. Now, we wanted Joe Biden on record. He has a plan, but I don't know if his plan really pinpoints Black people. So we want a plan that pinpoints Black people. We don't know if any of them gonna do it. But when you have a person on record as a campaign promise, you have more to go at him with, because he's told the world this is what he's gonna do. And if he doesn't deliver, he looks bad to everybody. Now, why hasn't dude done it in 3 years? I don't know. Nobody's been pressing him. Everybody's been like, he's the boogeyman, run, and nobody's been pressing him on behalf of Black people, because we've been just waiting for Democrats to get back in.
I do not agree with you on that statement. There has been a lot of people that have asked him, what about the wall? What about the kids in cages? I mean, there's a lot of things that
I understand that.
I'm not going to give him no plus signs whatsoever.
But check this out. I'm talking about pressing him to give things to Black people. These are country issues. I'm talking about Black people pressing him to give things to Black people. Everybody treated him like the boogeyman. Nobody would go and press him to give things to. Hello?
Hi, is this Charles? Hey, Charles.
To Black people.
Okay, family. So just quick thoughts on that, because what happens is you see a lot of us, we get distracted. We get distracted easily when it comes to these type of things. See, we have to always keep in the forefront of our mind freedom, justice, and equality. True liberation for Black people first, everybody else second. So what happens is what Vivica said was, no, people ask him about the wall. With all due respect, Vivica, the wall ain't got nothing to do with us. Okay? Well, while the wall is a concern, we talking about the hood right now. We talking about that wall. You want to talk about the wall? Let's talk about the wall that has been created and called the ghetto. Let's talk about that wall. See, we need to focus on that. You too broad right now, where we need to focus on what's happening inside of our own community. So we need to deal with the economic oppression. We need to deal with the food deserts. We need to deal with the miseducation within our community with our own people. You know, you talking about people in cages and all that stuff. While we sympathize with all of that, our children been in the cage called the ghetto. Our children have been boxed mentally in the miseducation system, in the killing fields, which the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad called the public school system, because it kills the mind of our young children, because it puts them in boxes and cages and doesn't allow them to be great. You understand? So let's address those issues first. I understand you want to talk about the wall. You want to talk about the children in cages. You want to talk about Trump and everything else. But let's stay focused on us And that's what I like about Cube, is he's staying focused. He's not letting you get him sidetracked. He's not letting you get him off course and off base with all this other stuff. No, what are you gonna do with Black America? I hear you, but what you gonna do for Black America? Let's talk about the wall. Just get back to the wall. Let's talk about Black America, this contract. Okay, well, we got the children and kids. No, I understand that, but let's get back to the contract with Black America and Black people. Let's talk about the trauma that we have, the PTSD that we have. Let's talk about that. Let's focus on that. Stay focused, family. Black people, we get so emotional that we don't stay focused. So Vivica not focused now. She worried about the wall, and that's not specific to our condition. Because then once you get to talking about the wall, then you creep over into minorities, and then you creep over into LGBTQ, and next thing you know, you way away from things that are specific to Black people. So we got to stay focused, family. Let's get back to it.
The stuff that he's doing to the rest of the country, I understand that, but we raggedy. We got to get our. We have to press any president that ends up winning. We have to press, or it's not going to work. We can't just press one side.
He says when we do press them that the other people are fine people. I mean, is that right? I mean, and he won't denounce the people that hurt us and suppress us. And then the policeman had his neck on somebody's neck for 9 minutes. He never support them.
I'm not here to fight about what he did, what he didn't do. Is he a good white man? Is he a bad white man? To me, they pretty much all the same. So
I don't agree with that.
With that said,
I don't agree.
Now, come on with them teachings now. Come on with them teachings, because he's talking about the mindset. He's talking about the mindset. And see, Vivica's caught up. She's caught up emotionally because of our relationship, because of the slave and the slave master relationship. She's caught up right now. So she can't fathom the fact that he is not going to denounce his family, which is those white supremacist groups. He ain't going to denounce them. But that's besides the point. That don't have nothing to do with us, whether he denounced them or not. We need the tangibles. You feel me? We need the tangibles. We need to stop looking for them to care about you. That's going and have them denouncing everybody. See, they don't get into that. Now, you notice how hard it is to get Trump to denounce his people, but you can see how easy it is to get us to denounce the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It ain't gonna take much for them to shake that tree. They shake that tree, they press you just a little bit, and you denounce the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. See, they ain't had to press Barack a lot to get him to denounce the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They ain't had to press Cory Booker a lot to get him to denounce the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. See, it don't take much for us to flip. It don't take much for us to flip on our own people. But that's that Willie Lynch syndrome, because it's gonna take you a lot to get Trump to flip on his own people. That's a fact. So you see the difference? You see the difference? And to address the comment here, it says that they break campaign promises all the time. If he gave you a promise, it was for your vote and others that look like you. Don't fall for the joke. Well, Sister Susie, I would say in response to that Trump isn't the first one to give campaign promises and break them. Barack gave campaign promises and did not follow through. Clinton gave campaign promises and didn't follow through. Bush, his daddy, they all gave campaign promises that they did not follow through on. So Donald Trump is not the first one to do that. So let's stop that. We have to stop that, family. Donald Trump is not the first white supremacist. He's not the first racist. He's not any of that. So let's just stop acting like he's the worst person ever because of the things that he's doing. Now, I agree with you that they do break promises all the time. But the whole point is to come to them with the idea of doing business and presenting. Because up until this point, we didn't even have nobody present them a black agenda outside of the Nation of Islam. And as I just told you, the black people are divided on that. So it's not like we had the full-on support of the black community when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, or specifically the Nation of Islam, presented the Muslim program for black people, which is pretty much the same thing, a contract of for Black America. Okay, his is just the 2020 version. So they have said out loud they don't care nothing about you. They just want your vote, period. Absolutely. And this is what I ask people all the time when they give this commentary about Donald Trump. I agree with everything that you're saying. I agree. But what makes you think that Joe Biden is not doing the same thing? Just because he didn't tell you straight to your face like Trump did doesn't mean he don't plan on doing it. He more like just a finesse. He like, I don't have to tell you straight up. I ain't gonna tell you straight up because I'm gonna bust this move behind your back. So when Trump says that they pretty much all the same, he's talking about the mindset, because Joe Biden is a wealthy white man, just like Mike Bloomberg is a wealthy white man, Donald Trump, wealthy white man, Bill Clinton, wealthy, Hillary Clinton, all of them. They all the same. None of them have put their white supremacy in their back pocket to put the black agenda out front. You understand? All of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we got to make sure that we kind of get out of this love fest. Get out of this love affair and this love fest with your slave master, Sister Vivica. You got to stop it.
I don't agree with. Can I?
Well,
I don't agree. I used to be.
Well, look. I know we've had all kind of presidents, and our situation hasn't changed. So that's why I said they're pretty much all the same when it comes to a president and dealing with our situation.
So let me. I gotta ask this question. Because you're on this show with Cocktails with the Queen, and there's a reason for that. It wasn't to have you defend or not defend Donald Trump. It was about. I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women, and it's not. We're not mentioned at all in the contract with Black America. And
when you mention black people, you mentioning black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's like administration say that when they
black people is not black women. Black women are not included in black people.
No, that's like you saying. That's like when the president says minorities, then he's including black people. But we all know that's not the case.
All right, so let me stop there because this is the trick. See, this is the trick that they try to throw in. And Lisa Ray is kind of just sitting back, listening. But see, the other three, Sister Claudia, Vivica, especially Vivica, and Sister Selena's like, nah, we're not specifically mentioned. What Cube is saying is absolutely correct. When black men say black people, they talking about black women included. There only was a separation, as I mentioned earlier, with white men and white women, where they separated their women from everything that they did. But what they do now is have tricked the black women to believing that black men think like that. And now they have successfully have you now as a tool, as a junkyard dog, if you will, to protect the white establishment. Because now Sister Selena saying, well, when the administration says minorities, they're talking, they say that they including black people when we know they're not. Who's the administration, Sister Selena? White patriarchal leadership. That's the administration. That's the establishment. So it's not the same coming from black men, black leadership. You understand? With an independent thought, independent dialect, knowledge itself. We ain't talking about no Negroes with no scholarships. We ain't talking about no Negroes that got their piece of paper from their slave master that call themselves doctor this and professor that echo the sentiments of their slave master. We ain't talking about them type of Negroes. We talking about stand-up brothers that have knowledge of self who are working to bring true liberation to our people. When we say black people, we include the black woman because you can't have it no other way. See? You can't have it no other way. You cannot have a nation without the black woman. No way, no how. So there's no way that we can seclude or exclude the black woman from anything. See? Because she is the nation. Straight up and down. If you just joining us, family, welcome to the Campaign TV Show podcast. I am your host, Brother King Cam. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button. Make sure you comment, engage, share this out to as many people as possible, family. We talking about our brother Ice Cube, who's been trending with the contract for Black America. He tapped in with both campaigns. He was on Fox Soul with the Queens discussing the contract for Black America. This is where we at. We're going to be closing down in about the next 15 minutes, family, so we can go ahead and take this on out. But I want us to think about this. They use us to come against us. They use us to do their dirty work. They use us to do their dirty work, family.
Case. Black women have specific needs that are not also being met. And we also feel that there should be some things that are specific to us and our plight as well. And
I understand that.
I feel like as a black man, you can leave.
No.
I feel like
I just offered y'all to write a section up for it. I just said I don't mind if you guys help us. If you guys help us write a section. No, I've been open to all kind of experts in putting this together. It wasn't just me. We dealt with experts in all fields of this contract with Black America. So we're willing to deal with experts in the section when it comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
I'll help you write it. I'll help you write it.
Say you do get the money. How soon do you think your plan is going to go into effect?
When
will we start seeing the benefits?
I'm not getting 1 quarter. Okay, this is something
I said
this is something he's promising to the country, and he's gonna have to implement it in a way he feel that can fit.
Okay, but can I just ask though? What would you see this plan doing for the first year for us if he's reelected?
I'm not part of the administration.
Well,
I'm here for Black people. I'm here to talk to both administrations about the contract with Black America. The Platinum Plan is not mine. Didn't name it. Didn't put it together. All I did was meet about the contract with Black America. They added some things, and I'm willing to meet with both sides. They can add some things or not. It's fine.
And then, they ran off immediately and did statements that you're basically a Republican now.
That's on
them, that ain't on me.
Okay.
That's on them, that's not on me.
I just want to make sure. We just want to clear.
We cannot talk at the same time. I got to ask a question, y'all. With over 20,000 lies told to the American people by this president, I'm a former friend of Donald Trump. I work with him. I made money with him. Personally, it would have served me better to still stay on his side. Why would you believe after he gets Black votes, his whole goal from 3 years ago was to siphon 20% of Black male votes to cross over to vote to support him? Why would we believe that he has, once he gets reelected, he will follow through with any of these plans, as opposed to Joe Biden and Kamala, who would be in their first term and be more indebted to do the right thing to get reelected for a second term? Right. Why should we believe that Donald Trump would actually follow through? That's a legit question that I have.
He ain't followed through.
I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that out, because I'm not sure if he's gonna do it or not. I'm not sure what any of these guys are gonna do. All I know is we got to push our agenda, no matter who's in there. And in a perfect world, the Biden campaign would have brought me in, and we would have really talked about the plan, and they would have did, great things to their plans to specifically target Black people, but they chose not to, and that's fine. But the thing is, I'm not a supporter of neither one of them.
No, I'm saying
that's what's the problem. I'm an independent person.
You don't have a conversation with the administration. If Biden wins and Kamala wins, it's not too late. So I don't think it's fair to dismiss what they are. They're not in power yet. So they really can't say. They really can't say and promise things because they're not yet in power. We're not even in power in Congress.
You can't make campaign promises.
So why
and they have.
That's what the plan. Make the promise when they're in office.
Well, they put out the Lift Every Voice and Sing plan. That is their promise to America and to the world. That is their promise. So the thing is, you can always promise the people who put you in power something more than what you just came up with. You gotta, especially when there's so much more that needs to be done. And he knows that there's so much that falls short in that plan when it comes to actually helping Black people, minority, people of color, diversity. All those are trick words, and Black people don't necessarily get a tenth of that. So we have to really be smart and really make sure that that money is touching the hands of the people who have really struggled in this country for hundreds of years.
I have a question.
Heavy. That's heavy right there. And what you seeing, family, what you seeing is something that I always try to tell our people in general, Black women, but our people in general is, man, we gotta listen more. Because what they were doing was they was making assumptions. They was assuming, as Selena Johnson said, that you cannot count them out or dismiss them. Ice Cube said, I didn't dismiss them. He said, I spoke with the Biden campaign. They wasn't interested at this time. So I'm talking to the people that's in power. If Biden and them come to power, I'm going to be sitting with them. If Trump remain in power, I'm going to be sitting with them. But we got to listen and stop creating our own narratives. She's creating her own narrative based on what she feel personally. She felt like he was bypassing the Biden campaign. So that's why that came out. That was in her mind. And she projected it on Ice Cube. And we do that all the time. We got to stop talking so much. Listen, comprehend. Remember that class in school, which was called reading comprehension? Read and then you comprehend it. We have to listen and then comprehend and process what is being said first before we come with a rebuttal. Most of us come with a rebuttal before the person has even finished their thought. So how could you process what's being said or comprehend what they have said to you if you're not even listening? Listening is a skill. We got to master the skill of listening, family. You understand? Our emotions and our listening skills have to be refined, because what you're seeing is a lot of emotional women. You see a lot of emotional brothers too, who don't listen. And then they create narratives and run off with these speaking points that's not even the truth. That's why you can't tell Black people nothing, because they get the story, then they go tell somebody, and then they add their twist onto the story. Then they go tell somebody else and they add their twist onto it. And by the time it get back to you, it's a completely different story than what you originally told the other person. It's because we don't listen. We want it to be what we want it to be personally. So our vision becomes cloudy. You see what I'm saying? Our interpretation, our circumstances, our perspective of events, circumstances, and people become distorted based on our own personal feelings. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, we got to rise above emotion into the thinking of God. Because the emotion going to get you confused. You feel me? So let's go.
You said that the Biden campaign didn't reach out to you, and well, you said first. You said
they did reach out.
But
they didn't want to. They said hook up. We'll hook up after the election.
And to be fair, they're not the power in party right now. I want to ask you this, if this is true, because I had heard from one of my sources that you were contacted for the Zoom call with Kamala Harris, with D.L. Hughley, Snoop Dogg, you, Killer Mike. They were all on the call, and you were not on the call, and that was that was in September. And why? So you said they didn't reach out. You said the Democratic reach out, but Kamala Harris's folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on the Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. Why did you not participate? Choose to not participate in that?
Well, we had spent, a lot of people time putting a contract with Black America together. And, I just thought that getting on a Zoom call with 12 other entertainers, all shooting what they believe needs to be done, to me wasn't going to be productive. And I was also, because my lawyer, Matt Johnson, has a connection with Kamala Harris, and I was promised a call that I never received. So, that's why I didn't feel like I wanted to be on that Zoom call. So I feel like our plan is so broad that you can't talk about it with 12 other people who had nothing to do with it. And these are a lot of things that really need to get done. So I wanted to have a serious conversation and not just a rally cry kind of conversation.
But you
But these
said
are also
you
people that-
would talk to anyone that was willing to help. You said you were.
I am, but I just said that they said they were going to call me direct, and I never got that call. So when you hear that, you're waiting for that call. It never came.
So no kind of way don't work if it's not the way that you started. You want. Got it.
See? Not listening. That's not what Cube said. He said that through his lawyer, he was promised a direct call from Kamala Harris. He never received a direct call from Kamala Harris. The next time they reached out to him was Kamala Harris wanted him to come on a Zoom call with Killer Mike, Snoop Dogg, DL Hughley, and all these other people to discuss whatever they was going to discuss. Now, Cube said, these are not the people that have anything to do with the contract for Black America. They don't have anything to do with it. So I'm not sitting up there talking with them. No disrespect to Snoop, DL, or anybody else. But I created the contract with Black America first and foremost. They don't even know what's happening. Secondly, I'm waiting on the call you were supposed to give me directly so we could talk about business. I don't have time to be on no rally call. We ain't doing no kumbaya. This ain't no lift every voice and sing. This ain't no running around here like the Congressional Black Caucus and Kente Claus, kneeling on one knee, making a mockery of the pain of Black people, but not really doing no substance, giving you symbols, not substance. Q said, I don't got time for none of that. So you don't need to call me on no call with a bunch of rappers and entertainers or none of that kind of foolishness so we can all be high and kikiing together, talking about all the different things we need to do, but never really getting to what we need to do. So Q said, I don't want to be a part of none of that. I'm waiting on your call directly so we can speak directly about this contract of Black America so we can get to the nitty gritty if you coming into power. But because we so used to symbols without substance, it would have been more acceptable to Vivica and Sister Selena that Q get on the call with Snoop Dogg and get on the call with DL Hughley and get on the call with Killer Mike. And Q said, for what? Get on the call with them for what? With all due respect, get on the call with them for what? I am here to provide solutions. So we need to get to the solutions. All these other people you bringing into the equation don't have nothing to do with what we're trying to accomplish at this point in time. You see? But that's how they try to use Black people. They want to bring in, make it all about celebrities, make this whole hoopla around bringing Killer Mike and all the rappers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's all well and good. But it's not time to play no games. We're not here for no popularity contests. None of that. We here to talk business, serious business, dealing with specifics for Black people. See, they wanted to bring people to the table that was going to try to mute Brother Q about the specifics for Black people. I'm not talking about Snoop Dogg. I'm more so leaning toward the DL Hughley and the Killer Mikes. Because while Killer Mike is a good brother, sometimes they can get drawn in with that minority word, that diversity word. You understand? That people of color word. I done heard Killer Mike use that word a lot of times. The people of color. See, that was a setup. They was trying to get him, Cube, in there with everybody that they know was going to back the Democratic ideology. See? That's what the plan was, but Cube said, no, I peeped that. I'm good. Call me when you get done with them. When you get off the phone with them, then you call me and we can talk business. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. That's how you can tell Cube is meeting with some of the top minds that know how this enemy think. You seen all them pictures with the minister. Y'all know what it is. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Well, I want to get things done. I don't want to just spin my wheels, talk to people who can't really make it happen. So I didn't want to just, well,
the vice presidential candidate.
When I had, listen, because I had the conversation. When I had the Zoom call with the DNC, the Democratic Party, We was on the call for probably over 45 minutes, and we never even got to the contract with Black America. We never went through any of the points that needs to be dealt with when it comes to the situation in this country. No one else has a plan that deals with as many issues that this administration or any administration could fix if they had the political will. And you have to give them the political will. And that's what's being done. I didn't want to put anybody on blast for that, but since they saying I didn't jump on the call, it's because I was promised a call where we can actually deal with this in a serious manner. And it wasn't just what I considered a rally call.
But I feel like that actually could have been okay, because you could have led the call and had supporters on listening to what it was that you're trying to get them to be able to help rally with the initiative for that.
I had been doing press about the contract with Black America outside of that. So I was using my press to promote the contract, not just to them dudes on the call, but to all of America, to all of Black America. That's where my thing is. So I wasn't on the call, but that don't mean we couldn't have a call. So that's what happened. And I don't feel like I made a mistake for not being on the call.
I will tell you, we have to wrap the show. We're way over, but I just want to say, Cube, I hear what you're saying, but I just want you to know, as Black women, how we would feel with. There's no mention specifically of Black women in the contract with Black America. They do have.
You're staying on top of that. I just told you can write that up if you.
But we're not out here jumping on calls.
We all Black, so we all.
We're not meeting up with Jared Kushner and Donald Trump about this. You are. So you can't say, well, if you don't like it, add to it. You're out here. You took that job. You took that position.
Oh, now y'all see that? You see that? Now y'all see how we are supposed to be in the liberation struggle. This is not a one-man show. By no means. It's not a one-man show. But you see how they're going to deflect it all onto him. They made all the hoopla about there not being no representation of Black women in the contract for Black America. Then Cube said, okay, cool. Y'all help me write the part that y'all need that deals specifically with the needs of Black women, and we got you. Oh, no. It ain't on us to be out here because we ain't at the calls and we ain't woo-doo. See? Now, I posted up a clip the other day when Dr. Umar said that deep down inside, Black people don't want to be accountable for their liberation. Well, we don't really want the responsibility. See, so now you can see Claudia, like, no, we don't want the responsibility of upholding the piece of the contract of Black America that we want, that we say that was left out. See, we don't want the responsibility of having to show up at the meetings, at the liberation struggle meetings. We don't want the responsibility of having to use some of the hours, the free hours of our work week, to do something productive toward the liberation struggle, like put in some community, some community patrol hours. You understand? We don't want to have some of our pay go toward the Black Liberation Fund that's going to get us a Black hotel, that's going to get us a Black school, that's going to get us a Black hospital. We don't want that type of pressure. See, we don't want that type of accountability. And as you can see, the sisters just said it. No. See, we want you to hold it down for us, but we ain't gonna help you do it. See, we gotta get. That's why unity is so important. That's why unity is so important. See, because now you want him to do everything. Now you want Cube to do everything. He got to represent for Black America, for Black men. He got to cover all of the points that's with Black men. Then he got to cover all of the points for Black women. You understand? That right there is crazy. That's why unity, family. Unity. All of us ain't gonna make it though. But unity is most important in this because it's going to be the collective effort of all of us. You want to complain, but then you get the opportunity to add and you fall back. Exactly. That's because you don't want the pressure. Now it's impeding on your personal time. You don't want to write the part about Black women. You see what I'm saying? Hypocritical. That's because it wasn't about there being a lack of representation for Black women. You just want to try to call a man out on something. You just wanted to try to call a man out on some family. If you just joining us, we talking about Ice Cube, the contract for Black America, and his recent interview on Fox Soul, the show called Cocktails with the Queens. This is the Campaign TV show. I'm your brother, King Cam. We getting ready to wind down. About 5 minutes left on this interview. We're going to close out. If you like, share, engage, hit that subscribe button if you're joining us from YouTube, family. If you like to donate to help us keep the podcast going each and every week, you can donate it scrolling at the bottom. The Campaign TV Show podcast. The Campaign TV Show, on Cash App. If you want to send us something on PayPal, we got PayPal as well, family. But look at this. Because they keep the dysfunction going. They keep the dysfunction going amongst us so that we can never see true progress and true freedom. Okay? Because they don't have all this energy for the enemy. Ooh, I like that. They don't have all this energy for the enemy. See, we can't come together as one, as Sister Ruby said. That's our problem. We as Black people can't come together as one. That's because we got our own personal narratives put into the overall goal. See? And it's crazy because that impedes your ability to listen and to understand what the brother's trying to do. He never said he wasn't willing to sit down with both parties. He never said that women was not represented in the contract of Black America. That's what they said. And they projected it onto him. See? That's why we got to get on code. Black people had to be on code. And those who are not on code, we have to put some type of system in place to get you on code. Because there's going to be consequences and repercussions for you getting off code. We can't continue to allow you to get off code. That's why you don't see a lot of white people get off code. Because there's consequences and repercussions when they get off code. See, Black people allowed to get off code and they just allowed to just be out here, off code and stuff. That's not what goes on in other communities. We're going to have to implement that coming soon. See? Houston will take that task for Black liberation easy. What's the problem with these women? That's what I'm saying. But it's because they're able to be used as tools against the Black man. Because again, if a house is divided against itself, it cannot stand. That's what I'm saying. A house divided against itself cannot stand. So if Black people, Black women, and Black men are not united together, then we're not going to be able to defeat our open enemy. Not going to be able to defeat our open enemy. And they throw these little things out there. They throw the feminist movement. They throw the Black Lives Matter movement. They throw this word out called toxic masculinity. They throw diversity. They throw people of color, women of color. They throw all that stuff out there to get you confused and off code, to get you your attention and your focus off of what the overall goal is. And then now they rile you up with triggers, like Donald Trump is a trigger. They rile you up with triggers, and then you get the trigger pull, and then you go after the one who's supposed to be in your corner, which is the Black man. See? And the whole time, we the target of the enemy that you now are defending. But they're coming after us, and they're using you to do it. Facts. So it's real, family. It's real. You understand? Let's go ahead and close it out. Got 2 minutes left.
I'll write it up. I'll write up the Black woman's part of the contract for you.
Good.
How many words do y'all want it to be? The thing is, you guys are the experts, but here we go again. You just want to talk. Nobody want to help me. Just want to talk. But y'all the experts on Black women, so why won't y'all help me? See, that's the problem.
I can tell you why. You just let me ride the party. So anyway,
the initiatives have already been set.
I wish listen, you guys, we're way over. We're way over. I wish we would have you for more time because I feel like you have a lot to say, Ice Cube, and you're very influential, and we appreciate this. And I hope we can respectfully debate and no feelings hurt. I don't think you are the type that would get hurt. I appreciate y'all. I wish we could have you back to have more of this conversation. Would you be open to come back here?
Of course, we family.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because
family, and can't nobody hurt my family can't hurt my feelings.
Well,
That's it.
Because we're running out of time, Ice Cube, I would like to say right now, to be fair to you, and we really wanted to dig deep about the Black woman part. I think that's very important, and to lift every voice part versus the contract with Black America. I feel like there's more on the table, and I don't want to be disrespectful to your perspective and to the perspective of Black women. I would love to invite you back before the election. If you have time, I would love to do that for part 2 with Ice Cube. We gotta break now.
No problem.
Brother, I know your intent is good. We just don't like who you rocking with, but we know your intent.
I ain't rocking with nobody.
We gonna see y'all. We gonna see.
Y'all see that? So there you have it, family. Again, we have to. Oh, let me do that. All right, cool. Okay, family. So again, our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. So we have to stop allowing our personal feelings, stop allowing these personal things to stop us from being able to unify on universal principles. Freedom, justice, and equality, because that's the goal. And everybody's affected if we're not on the same page. So I thank you all for watching, listening, tapping in. The support for the Campaign TV show is extremely, extremely powerful. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I love all of y'all, family. Again, if you'd like to help us, donate on the Cash App, Campaign TV Show, scrolling across the bottom. We also take PayPal as well, just to keep the lights on each and every week. We here giving y'all some impact, some value, and that's what it's about. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said in his 53-week lecture series, 58-week lecture series called "The Time and What Must Be Done," that we should use our social media platforms to encourage positive discourse. We should use our social media platforms to do something other than gossip, to do something other than share fight videos, to do something other than be ignorant. So I took that personally and said that I will use my platform now to give knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and to help raise the dead by the millions. That's my whole purpose and goal, family. So that's the purpose of the Campaign TV show. All of the videos, all of the information, families, to make sure that we tapped in over here and that we are adding value and that we are doing our part in the Black liberation struggle, because I feel that is very, very necessary. So y'all be safe. Thank you all for tapping in. Appreciate you. And I leave you in the greeting words of peace. And before I go, may Allah bless you with the light of understanding. Okay? May Allah continue to bless you, keep you safe during this pandemic. No? And I leave you in the greeting words of peace, as we said in the Arabic language, of Assalamu alaikum, family.